Closed captioning is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Let's get the opening face-off now. Let's send it upstairs to Howie and Butch.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. The Islanders and the Phoenix Coyotes, a relative rarity, as for a long time, ever since Lockout 2, it was not a given that Eastern Conference teams would play Western Conference teams in any particular season. But Evgeny Nabokov spent some time out west, so he might not be all that familiar with the current Coyotes roster, but the idea of playing the Phoenix Coyotes is not all that new to him.
Well, he knows all about Dave Tippett because he's been there a whole long time and just recently signed a nice 5-year deal. So good for Dave Tippett. Talking to him earlier this morning, though, how he was telling me how he came back. The only reason he came back is because he can work so well with Don Maloney. He says the two of them get along unbelievable. They talk over everything.
And you just saw Mike Smith, the Phoenix goaltender. He has emerged as one of the best in the business. Signed a 6-year contract this summer to stay in Phoenix. As the Islanders start out with Franz Nielsen between Michael Grabner and Josh Bailey. And on defense, this is Matt Donovan, number 46, paired with Brian Straight. The Coyotes immediately change their defense. This is Keith Yandel, number 3, across to Michael Stone, number 26, playing his first game of the year for the Coyotes in place of the injured Derek Marsh.
Well, I'm sure you're going to want to see, some line matchups from Dave Tippett. He's going to want to get his best pair, likely out against the John Tavares line, and I would think that would be Larson and Mahalik whenever he gets that opportunity.
So from the draw, it's Donovan for the Islanders hitting the red line and steering it in. The Islanders again going with the same lineup that they've used in each of their first 2 games. This is Yandel, number 3, behind the Phoenix goal. His pass a little too far on left wing for Mikkel Boedker, number 89. It slides into the Islanders zone, though, and Boedker next to get it before giving it up to Straight. And now it's Grabner for the Islanders, getting to the red line, but giving it away to Michael Ribeiro, number 63.
And that's one of the areas that Jack Capuano talked about. The Islanders having patience to keep that puck ahead of them.
A steal. Here's Tavares. Loading one wide as Grabner went to the net with the Islanders in the midst of that change. Oposo is on as well. He chases it down in the corner as Grabner goes to the bench and Oposo hits the ice. But nothing called, and the Coyotes break to center. And on right wing, Ribeiro cutting to the middle, dropping it over the line, brought in offside then by Zbynek Michalek, number 4.
Well, in typical John Tavares style, that good solid aggressive poke check, and then right across, trying to hit Matt Olson, Michael Grabner, but John Tavares is such a tenacious individual and tries to slide it across to Grabner. Deflects off the defenseman's skate. But we've seen John Tavares become a better and better checker as his career has progressed.
Shane Doan throws it in. I've heard a lot of hockey people over the years, Butch, say that learning to play defense is as much about making the commitment as it is to the technical aspects of it. Is it that simple?
It really is. It's the willingness to do it, because it's not as much fun, Howie. It's a lot of work, and, there's nobody pats you on the back all that often just because you check. But it's very rewarding, and you've heard the expression, defense wins championships.
Here's Regan for the Islanders, closing and shooting. He scores! His first goal, his first point as a New York Islander. Peter Regan gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead.
Again, another turnover by the Coyotes just inside the blue line. And Peter Regan and Bouchard have a quick opportunity on the 2-on-1. Again, there's Larson, not a very good pass off of Mahalik. And Regan takes a look and then decides I haven't anything else to do, so he goes high on the glove side. Great opportunity for the Islanders. And watch Bouchard, he falls, but he gets up, goes to the net, and look how deep Mike Smith is in his net, and that's the smart thing to do. When you see a goalie that deep, get the puck up high, even though he's a big goaltender. Super shot by Peter Regan.
So the Islanders get the early goal at the 1:49 mark of the first period and take the lead. Casey Cizikas chips it into Phoenix territory. He gets there rather vigorously with David Rundblad, number 2, former first-round pick of the St. Louis Blues, who is then run into the board by Cizikas. Back in comes Moss, number 18, for Phoenix. Angled up with Wisniewski. Moss behind the net, out from behind, slipped it right through the goal mouth. And now Lucas Lescio, rookie number 22, played his juniors at Oshawa, lost it along the boards. And Rundblad, number 2, banks it in on the right wing. Lesio couldn't reach it, and the Coyotes need a change.
Tippett says that Lesio is a puck hound. He'll be on you all night, all day. He just never gives up. Terrific skater.
Brock Nelson gets the assist on Regan's goal. Nelson's first point in the National Hockey League. Remember, he played in the playoffs, played the one game here at the Coliseum, Game 6, and did not score a point in that game.
Yeah, it was perfect position. Trapped him at the red line, and then Regan was able to jump in right away. But look how deep that Smith is, and Regan makes the perfect shot. And that's what you want to do. Have that good, quick transition. That's what the league talks about with the Islanders. They have that ability to turn the puck over in a hurry.
Donovan with a feed that went off of Bailey's stick. And is chased down by Stone in the corner. He's hit by Franz Nielsen. And the puck brought along by Yandel, number 3. Dumping in behind the net, that's Chris Brown, number 44, out of the University of Michigan. Roughing up Brian straight behind the net. Brown actually was born in Texas.
As soon as I saw the name Brown and I saw the number, I just automatically assumed that he was a Rob Brown fan from back in the Pittsburgh day. I mean, how many people wear 44? I couldn't get to the bottom of it, but I will, Howie.
Film at 11. Puck put through the slot by Rob Klinkenhammer, number 36, actually right through the goal crease. And it's Regan for the Islanders, making a move away from Verbata and sliding it deep into Phoenix ice.
You think they call him Colonel Klink?
I don't think you can escape him. Of course, you have to have been around a while to remember Hogan's Heroes. But I'm sure somebody has reminded Klinkenhammer of that over the years.
I'm sure Shane Doan would know a little bit about that area. And I'm not trying to say he's old, but he's been around a little bit longer than some of these guys.
Peter Regan would have no idea what we're talking about. I wouldn't think. I don't know how big it was in Denmark, but you know, he, meaning Regan, and Franz Nielsen are from Denmark, and so is Mikkel Boedker, wearing number 89 for the Coyotes, playing left wing right now. All of a sudden, Denmark becoming more of an NHL feeding hotbed.
Well, with the exposure of the National Hockey League now worldwide, more and more young people are playing hockey, and more young hockey players want to play in the National Hockey League.
And let's face it, when you've got 30 teams in the league, you got to stretch out the talent pool. And they've been able to do that. Be on display during the Olympics as well in Sochi coming up in February.
I can remember when the only really anybody out of North America was the Swedish group of people. Hammerstrong, I think, was one of the first one. And
Inge Hammerstrong came over with Borje Salming.
Borje Salming. Whitey played in L.A., so those are 3 guys that came over early on.
And here is Brock Nelson hitting the red line, dumping it into the corner, but the Islanders need a change. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the opening period. Each team with 2 shots, but Regan has the Islanders on top 1-0. Mike Ribeiro's been around, number 63. Now for Doan on right wing. All the way across. The long drive deflects behind the scrambling Nabokov, who regains his stick. McCulloch's shot is blocked. And out come the Islanders. Tavares had the puck at his feet, couldn't control it. And Vanek McCulloch back to get it behind the Phoenix goal, circling away from Tavares. Oposo got a stick on it. Korpikoski is shoved to the boards. He's a former Ranger out of Finland, the first-round pick 9 years ago now, Lauri Korpikoski. Andrew MacDonald up to Oposo. Didn't get it deep, but he gets it back from Molson. Oposo checked by Doan, put it towards the slot. That's broken up by McCulloch. And he's able to steer it out of the zone off of Hamonic. And recovered by McDonald in the Islanders zone. Casey Cizikas looks for Oposo. He'll have to get to the bench on a change as he gets the puck deep. And then Smith with a quick up. He was looking for the breaking Lesio. Backed up by Doan, and he winds one around the boards, or at least that was Moss, number 18. And Cizikas back at the other end of the ice. Checked by Stone. Colin McDonald put it in front. Martin chips away at it. Got the puck regained by the Coyotes.
Good job on the Islander forecheck. Matt Martin just chipping the puck in. And Casey Cizikas going in there hard and knew that he had the automatic out to Colin McDonald. And good opportunity for Matt Martin on that pass from Colin McDonald. So good job by the checking line, if you will, of the Islanders.
A couple of Islanders squeezing Antoine Vermette down to the ice with a puck at his knees. Recovered by Yandel. And Keith Yandel bounces it in. Hickey in a little trouble behind the net. Lost it to Bottker. Now Verbata turns on Colin McDonald. Sweeps it behind the net. Taken to the corner by Hensel. Now out to the blue line. A wrist shot is blocked. The bouncing puck sent out to center, where it's regained by David Schlemko, number 6. Up for Verbata, but he couldn't hold on.
Schlemko got caught standing outside the blue line after the shot. Had he been inside, how he been able to keep the puck in.
12:49 to go in the opening period. Coyotes have outshot the Islanders 4-3. And Andrew MacDonald away from Klinkhammer and picked off in center by Brown. He turns on Andrew MacDonald, tried to throw it to the net, lines up in the corner. Recovered now by Nielsen, and out come the Islanders. Hamonic joining the rush. Nielsen slowed down as he hit the blue line, and that forced the play offside. So we'll step out. 12:25 remaining. First period. Congratulations to Peter Regan on his first Islander goal. Islanders off to the early lead here. Now tomorrow night on MSG Network, Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks will open the preseason against the Boston Celtics. Live coverage gets underway at 7:30. Knicks preseason basketball tomorrow night on MSG. It's that time of year now when everything's going at once.
All kinds of sports to watch on the MSG Network.
Give that remote a workout.
Yeah, boy, Rangers, Devils, Knicks, Islanders. Well, there's that matchup I was talking about with Ekman Larsson out against John Tavares and Mahalik.
Ekman Larsson takes the shot, and it sizzles wide. Mahalik couldn't control the bouncing puck, brought it out, and then as it's sent back in, the Coyotes are offside. They weren't sure Ekman Larsson would be able to play tonight after an injury in the last game at San Jose, against San Jose.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump, but tremendous player. And you know, Larson's the first Coyote to ever be voted MVP as a defenseman. No other defenseman has ever been voted. Quite an honor. So that tells you a lot about the talent of Larsson.
Puck driven around by McCulloch. Hickey couldn't reach it. Now gets another chance, and Thomas Hickey plays it to the boards where Molson is stationed.
Matt Molson caught himself in a tough situation there, lost his balance, but was able to get the puck out of his own zone.
Tangled up with David Moss, number 18. This is Moss to join in on that hit against Oposo, along with Lesio, who wins the puck, put it out in front, a hard pass that couldn't be finished by Vermette, number 50.
Tried to carry him in off his left knee.
Now Vermette shoved off balance by Oposo. Oposo back on the puck, but he lost it to Lesio. Lucas Lesio, number 22. Now for Moss. Turning away from Hickey, but he gave it away to Wisnowski. And Lubomir Wisnowski up the boards to Tavares. Trying to squeeze past Ekman Larsson, couldn't do it. And McCulloch provides defensive support for the Coyotes. Good work, though, by Tavares, who kept the legs moving to keep the pressure on. And he comes back to center, regains the puck till he's stripped by Verbata, who shoots, and that went wide. Good shot, just missed the far side. Yandel fires, and that skipped wide. Now the Coyotes getting pressure as Hansel whips it right through the goal crease. Tavares back, makes a blind pass that the Coyotes pick off. The drive blocked in front. Tavares recovers, and this time wheels it on the backhand to Bouchard. And the Islanders changing. Bouchard from Donovan. Snaps one wide. Tavares just now getting to the Islander bench.
Minus the glove.
Now Regan with a hard feed. Nelson was stripped by Verbata. And the Coyotes recovered. 10:17 to go in the opening period. Verbata floats one to Nabokov, who drops it quickly for his defense. And it's Andrew MacDonald going up the middle. Touched by Regan, recovered by Ribeiro for the Coyotes. Doan was behind the red line, and icing is called. A hybrid icing with a claim that Hamonic had the step on Korpikoski.
Watch John Tavares as he loses his glove right here. Now he continues on and playing. The whole Islander bench is holding their breath. But watch this as John Tavares goes out to the point. He puts his hand behind him to protect it. And again, back on his stick. But that can be very dangerous because you get slashed, you break your hand, and then you're out for 4 to 6 weeks. And he's irreplaceable. No doubt about that. But smart enough to not put his hand in harm's way.
Out come the Coyotes. Led by Rundblad, number 2. He's taken in by Andrew MacDonald. Doan peels it back to the blue line. This is Schlemko. And it's slapped away by Cizikas. He flutters it out of the zone. He and Korpikoski exchange shoves. Coyotes keep the puck. Doan, number 19. Some fancy maneuvers, but he still can't get clear of either Martin or Wisnowski, and that allows the Islanders to regain the puck.
Coyotes have a real good tempo going for them. They're a hard-working team. They pride themselves in not being outworked.
Matt Martin around behind the net. Checked by Doan in the corner. We talk about defensive commitments by forwards. I mean, after all these years, Shane Doan is still very effective doing that.
Well, if you play for Dave Tippett, it's a team game. They don't rely on one person. Everybody has to buy into the scheme. We recognize over the last 4 or 5 years, Howie, they don't have a lot of offensive skill, so they just can't give up a whole lot of goals. They rely on their goaltender, but everybody's got to check.
There's Clint Cameron, number 36, got a man going to the net. But he couldn't connect with Kyle Kipchurkin, number 24. And back up is Grabner trying to squeeze through. Can't do it on the play offside as Nielsen brought it back in after it came over the line. So 8:35 remain. First period. Islanders on a Regan goal have the lead. Peter Regan has the Islanders on top. And when we next see the Islanders, they will be playing against last year's top team. They raised the Stanley Cup banner at the United Center a couple of nights ago. And the Islanders will be there on Friday night to face Patrick Kane of the defending champion Blackhawks. Live coverage gets underway at 7:30 with Visa Islanders game night. Islanders and Blackhawks Friday night on MSG+.
I wish that was the only player they had, but they've got Duncan Keith and they got Jonathan Toews along with Patrick Sharp.
They were able to do a better job. And it's not through any fault of their own that they couldn't do it the first time, but they were able to keep more of their team together after winning the Cup this past June than they were when they won it back in 2010, just due to salary cap situations.
Yeah, and a lot of the so-called experts are predicting that they'll win again. Well, I'm not so sure. Jack Capuano is saying, hey, hold on a little bit. I think maybe we just might be able to get there.
Well, it's so hard to repeat nowadays, particularly with the season having gone as late as it did last year. And sure, they played only 48 regular season games, but a lot of guys were playing somewhere during the lockout, and you get down to that last week of June, and then training camp starts in mid-September. It's not a whole lot of time to shake off a Stanley Cup hangover.
And with the salary cap, there's a lot of parity in the league, so anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
It's what they want. No more super teams. Matt Donovan.
I like the super team.
I understand, especially because you're an integral part of one of them. I think fans did too. I mean, that'd be a great poll to take. Would fans prefer the 1 or 2 big dogs that you hunt down every year as opposed to having 30 almost homogenous teams? Be an interesting thing to find out what the fans think about that.
Well, that's why I have a Twitter account. We'll find that out.
You get on that then. Here's Hickey shrugging off the forecheck of Bakker, number 89. And the Coyotes keep it in the Islanders zone. Hickey spins it around to the near side with 7:20 to go in the first.
Islanders really haven't found their rhythm yet, Howie. I mean, they turned the puck over a little bit, but the Coyotes have done a good job of keeping these guys off balance and really been able to move the puck up the ice with some pretty good speed and play in the Islanders' defensive zone.
Centering feed went beyond the reach of Bakker. And now Hickey slowly to center. Didn't get it deep. McCulloch loved it down. 7-3 Coyotes in shots. Islanders have the 1-0 lead on Regan's goal, but they haven't been much of an offensive threat since then.
They've done a poor job in chipping the puck in and putting it in places where they have a chance to get it back. It's been sort of one and done for the Islanders. The puck goes in and the Coyotes are able to get it out right away. We just saw the one good shift by Cizikas, and really, other than that, there hasn't been much sustained pressure in the offensive zone for the Isles.
Trying to set some here now after the Colin McDonald chip. But a whistle and a penalty coming, I think, to the Coyotes here.
Yeah, it's going to be a high stick, and looks like Colin McDonald got clipped a little bit high.
But you know what? I mean, at least he started the forecheck with a little chip in that you're always talking about, and that's what this line does so well. It can change the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, as we watch, there's the high stick by Schlemko right in the face area of Colin McDonald. But that's the second time that, that Casey Cizikas line has just chipped the puck in.
For high stick.
You know, they have the patience and they have the focus, and they know their limits. You know, they know how they have to play the game, and they do it well. And their good forechecking effort has allowed the Islanders to go on the power play.
Well, Islanders with a man advantage, high sticking. Schlemko at 13-36. Islanders 1 for 4 with a man advantage.
As the Islanders 6, Schlemko 2 minutes high sticking at 13-36.
So 13-36.
Looks like there's another penalty going on here.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 5-on-3, and I think he played the puck with his hand, Howie, on that face-off. I think that was the area, because it happened right away, and Vermette is a centerman, so, you know, that's that rule from last year. You can't play the puck with your hand on a face-off, and Dave Tippett's not very happy with that. That's the glorious opportunity for the Islanders, but I believe that is what the call was.
So it's going to mean a 5-on-3 for really the full 2 minutes here. And so it'll be Tavares. They may take a second off the clock. I would think they'd have to, because, let's face it, he did play it with his hand as the puck was dropped. So you got to take at least a second off. And I would imagine that's what the discussion is over at the scores table here.
I would agree. If the play didn't start, then there can't be a penalty. So, and that's what Dave Tippett. Now watch Vermette right in the face-off, and there's the left hand, and you cannot do that. He just, you know, forgot about it. He's probably been doing it all his life, and a little mental error by Vermette. And I agree with you, Howie. That should be 1:59.
Well, again, we see the time at this point in the game in full seconds. Down at the scores table, they're dealing in tenths of seconds. So it may well be that 9/10 of a second elapsed there, but not enough for the scoreboard clock to change from 2 minutes to 1:59. And I would imagine that's what this is all about.
The ref's going to go over now and talk to the coach and explain that to him, because we've seen it on many occasions where, you know, 1 second or half a second makes a big difference on a power play. You got to get back into the play. So that's what Dave Tippett, I'm sure, is talking to the ref about.
We will see the time in tenths of seconds when the game clock gets into the final minute of the period. Until then, all they show is 6:24 remaining in the period, and still 2 minutes on both power plays. But really, I would say 8 or 9/10 of a second elapsed there. And I'm guessing, but that's probably what all the hubbub is about. But the Islanders with a 5-on-3 power play, and they go to work. Tavares setting up along the boards now. Michalek and Ekman-Larsson the defense. Hansel the one forward. Oposo to Nielsen. Now Oposo faked the shot, and a good block by the stick of Ekman-Larsson. However, the puck recovered by Tavares now. 5-on-3 for the Islanders. Tavares setting up. Waiting. Now to Wisnowski. Back from Oposo. Oposo again. Off the arm of Smith.
Off the head, I think, Harry. I think off the head. He's shaking it off there.
Either way, the Coyotes get it all the way down, and now there is a second of separation on the penalty clock, which again lends credence to the tenths of seconds theory, as Oposo has to dart back to his own zone.
And that was almost a breakaway for Ribeiro. The Islanders slipped at the blue line.
But now Wisnowski with room. Off a stick in front, missed by Tavares, and it ricochets towards the blue line. Back to protected Nielsen. Quick feed to Wisnowski, and the Islanders set up again. Wisnowski to Oposo. Tavares, Oposo, now Wisnowski.
Now they'll switch sides here, get on their forehands.
Ribeiro challenging. 42 to the power play. It's a 5-on-3. Tavares to Nielsen. Didn't hold it. Smith didn't get it very far, though. So now Oposo. Wisnowski. Oposo steps up. Feeds Nielsen. Cross ice. Score! Tavares! Beautiful setup. 2-0 Islanders. Power play goal, and they'll still have some time remaining.
Well, the fans were getting a little nervous, a little edgy, but the Islanders showed great patience. They started to move the puck around a little bit quicker. Kyle Oposo, Wisnowski back to Kyle Oposo, and there's the quick pass from Franz Nielsen to John Tavares. Love where he is, Howie, over at the bottom of the circle. It's hard to watch him when he's that far over, and that's just a great pass from Franz Nielsen to John Tavares, and he makes absolutely no mistake. That's a big goal for the Islanders, gives them a nice 2-0 lead, but more importantly, they haven't scored a lot of 5-on-3 goals.
Well, they still have a half minute remaining to to the power play. They only had 2 all of last year, Butch, the 5-on-3s. But it's important, as you point out, for a couple of reasons. Because after getting the early goal from Regan, they sagged badly offensively, and that only would have stayed more to the forefront of their minds collectively had they not scored on the 5-on-3.
Wow, it would have been a big lift for the Coyotes also to kill off the 5-on-3 and then maybe be able to sustain the momentum that they had during the first period. But now, as it is, the Islanders can feel a little bit better about themselves. You're right, they have 30 more seconds to take it to them. No reason why you can't get another one here. They got the second power play on now.
Of course, they had the Coyotes outnumbered down low, but still a gorgeous pass there from Nielsen to Tavares. So here's Regan steering it around the boards. It's a 5-on-4 now for another 16 seconds. And the Islanders 16. Regan to Donovan. Regan moves it quickly. McDonald a drive, and he missed the net on the glove side. Comes hard around and out of the zone.
I like the shot on net right away. Quick puck movement. Get it going towards the net. Look for that rebound or that screen shot. Good decision by Andrew McDonald.
Net out of the box. The team's at full strength, so it's Tavares' first of the year from Nielsen and Oposo at 15:07. Islanders altogether 3 shots on the power play. So they did cash in on the 5-on-3. And despite the fact they've spent a lot of time in their own zone in this first period, they have a 2-0 lead. Tavares with a power play goal to double it.
Well, the Islanders have a 2-0 lead thanks in part to John Tavares with this 5-on-3 goal. Now watch the movement here. There's John Tavares. Now watch what he does. Kyle Oposo plays a little yo-yo with Wisniewski now down to Frans Nielsen. Now look at John Tavares right at the bottom of the circle. He's not in too tight. He's able to stay clear, and then he has a good angle to score the goal. Too many guys, how he jammed the net. There's no room to go. John Tavares at the top, bottom of that circle, much like Mario Lemieux used to do in his heyday. Loved where he was. Good opportunity, and Frans Nielsen had plenty of room to make the pass.
And now Bailey looking for some room at the far side, just missed. With under 4 minutes to go in the opening period now. Pressure by Grabner against Stone to win the puck.
Michael Grabner using that great speed to get on Stone in a hurry.
Hansel whips it across to Yandel. And now Bakker slides it in. Bakov steers it to Brian Straight. And Rabada jumps back on it at the Phoenix blue line.
Left wing walk, Howie. At the neutral zone, Islanders trying to slow them down, make sure there's no 3-on-2s.
Pollock slowly in center with Phoenix changing. And Andrew McDonald back to get it in the Islanders zone away from Doan. Straight took the hit from Ribeiro. But Ribeiro signed a 4-year deal, leaving the Washington Capitals to sign with the Coyotes.
Well, new ownership, a lot of money, I guess. All these guys with new contracts.
Islanders, I believe, are getting a penalty here. And the Coyotes will go to their first power play with 2:51 to go in the first period.
Dave Tippett talked about signing the core players, you know, with Larson and Doan and Smith and Ribeiro, with some stability in the organization.
New York, number 91, 2 minutes, hooking.
John Tavares battling for the puck. Of course, he stays with it and just gets that stick just a little high, and that's all it takes is a little tug in the midsection.
That's been a penalty since about 2005 now. I've seen illustrations of where that used to be commonly let go. When they tried to change the rules to open the game up, that became a textbook penalty. So now the Coyotes to the power play. Ekman Larson feeding it back to Vermette.
Yeah, excuse me, Howie. Islanders had a chance to get it out and failed. So often, there's the second time, and so often that really comes back to bite you.
That stayed right on the line for Ekman Larson. And finally, Matt Martin does chip it out of the zone.
Listen to the fan reaction. Pretty astute bunch of people here, and they recognize the importance of getting it out first time.
Coyotes won for their first 4 on the power play this year. The Islanders have killed 3 of the first 4 that they've defended against. 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Rabada watched by Nielsen. Phoenix changing. Vermette off. Ribeiro on. And here's Ribeiro carrying through center. And over the line, away from Nielsen, picked up by Hamonic. Grabner finds the loose puck and gets rid of it.
Now the Phoenix Coyotes signed Ribeiro because Dave Tippett had him in Dallas and loved him. And obviously when they had this opportunity, Tippett endorsed him fully.
And he will get under your skin, Will Ribeiro. He's one of those agitating types.
Well, he's got great skills, but I don't know how good a checker he is.
I just turned it over. Now Regan strolls to the Phoenix line to kill a little time. He'll go to the bench with a half-minute left on the Tavares penalty. Yandel moving through the neutral zone. Stick check by Nielsen. Poked out by Grabner. The penalty kill's been good. 17 seconds remain to it. Ribeiro fires it around. Good hit by Doan in the corner against Nielsen, but the Islanders clear and we're into the final minute of the period. And the penalty about to expire in 4 seconds with nary a shot fired by the Coyotes.
The Islanders did a nice job of standing them Coyotes up at the blue line, causing them to turn it over.
Tavares out of the box to intercept the pass. And now McDonald. And Oposo sends Tavares in. Molson there too. Tavares got it back to McDonald. Half minute to go in the period. Hamonic flipped it towards the net. It was cut off there by Schlemko. And Andrew McDonald comes back to get it. Hamonic. Round for Oposo. Tavares down the right wing. Angled by a pair of Coyotes. Following is Hamonic. 10 seconds left in the period. Molson put it out in front looking for Tavares, but he was well covered. And that skims the top of the glass and goes out of play with 2.1 seconds remaining in a first period during which the Islanders were, I guess, at best you would say okay, but they'll be 2 goals up.
Well, I thought they really picked up the play really after that first goal, Howie. They're much better.
Well, stay tuned for our first intermission report presented by Ford. Para Peters. Peter Rutgazer will chat with the Islanders' Peter Regan. And we'll also be talking about the new Phoenix Coyotes ownership. Plus, we'll show you highlights of a first period that saw the Coyotes go without a shot in the last nearly 8 minutes, just a tick under. So Regan got it started. And then during a 5-on-3 power play, Tavares with his first of the year. Although Phoenix outshot the Islanders 7-6 in the end of one here at the Coliseum. 2-0 Islanders. Islanders up 2-0, getting set for the second period here at the Coliseum. Islanders will hit the road for a couple of days. They will go to Chicago on Thursday and then face the Blackhawks on Friday night. The defending champs with Patrick Kane and company will be the Islanders' next opponents. Live coverage beginning at 7:30 with Visa Islanders game night. The Islanders and Blackhawks Friday night on MSG Plus, after which the Islanders go to Nashville and make, well, what is now their annual appearance in Music City, as they will be at Bridgestone Arena on Saturday night to face the Predators. Now, our trivia question tonight brought to you by Cadillac. There's only been one player in the National Hockey League with a hat trick in 3 straight games. And obviously, if the question comes up during a game involving the Phoenix Coyotes, well, you kind of leave the cupboard somewhat bare. You remember the Shane Doan hat trick that he had against the Islanders that we showed you earlier, but I don't think he's ever done that 3 in a row. So here on the island, you think of Mike Bossy. Did he ever do it? He'd certainly be a prime candidate, as well as all the other big boys who became huge goal scorers in the post-expansion era.
But Verbata's had back-to-back hat tricks.
Okay, but that's last year, last game, and the first one this year.
Yeah, so, well,
and I guess that counts, right?
Somewhat, I would think so, but now he needs to get 3 goals in 2 periods. And it's still possible. Well, it's still possible. I mean, I know guys who've scored 3 goals in 1 period.
But, you know, it still wouldn't be a 3rd straight hat trick for him because he didn't get one in the 4-1 loss at San Jose over the weekend. So, you know, that streak, however cheesy it might have been, linking the end of one season to the beginning of the next, that's over anyway. But you chew on it. We'll have the answer a little bit later.
Well, that guy's not likely to want to give up 3 to anybody, whether it's 3 in a row to the same player or three different players. And boy, the way he's played, I mean, yeah. After last year with a tremendous run he had in the regular season, and then the Islanders, you know, whether or not they were going to sign him and whether or not he was going to sign here. boy, has he ever come out and played extremely well. I mean, he's given the Islanders everything as far as the net's concerned.
So, as we start the second period, North Shore LIJ, the official hospital of the New York Islanders, presents the face-off with Franz Nielsen and Martin Hanzal getting set. Nielsen, Bailey, Grabner, the Islander forwards with Straight and Donovan back. Hanzal along with Butker and the aforementioned Verbata up front. Yandel back on defense with Stone. And Verbata now sends Butker on his way, leaning away from Donovan. Good feed, centering pass comes back and is missed by an in-too-deep Butker.
Well, you talk about good speed with Butker. Just flew by the Donovan on the outside, and great opportunity for the Phoenix Coyotes right off the bat. And that's what they would love to do, is score a goal, get themselves back into the game, get some momentum going.
Grabner gets the puck deep, and the Islanders change right away. Lead pass on left wing for Butker is flicked in behind the Islander net. And Andrew McDonald goes back to get it. His pass picked off by Korpikoski, who's got to wait because Doan was in ahead of the play. Now he tags up. The Islanders get the puck back. Barrow is turned around. Here's Hamonic firing one wide. Hard carom to Oposo. Checked by McCulloch. Barrow turning against Molson. And Ekman Larson, number 23. Challenged by Tavares, forcing him to move it quickly around the boards where Oposo can pick it off. But then it comes out to center. And Hamonic gets there first. Although he takes a hit from Korpikoski. McDonald in his own zone.
Yeah, a little miscommunication between Travis Hamonic and Andrew McDonald. They went to different spots on the ice. Near turnover.
Regan taken to the boards by Antoine Vermette, number 50. Might remember him with the Ottawa Senators. Alessio didn't hold it. Alessio, number 22, gets it back, but once again can't maintain possession. And with the Coyotes changing, McCulloch had to make sure to do the flyby there and not touch that thing.
Yeah, the temptation was to touch it, but he's been around enough to know you can't do that. Vermette was part of that trade for Kyle Turris with the Ottawa team. Draft pick along with Rundblatt.
Alessio has some room here, but didn't get much on that. Not sure if Brock Nielsen got a piece of it on the way past. But Pierre-Marc Bouchard, who by his own admission has taken a little longer than he would have liked to get into the flow.
Well, he's had so many injuries, Howie, over the last 2-3 years that, you know, when you don't play on a regular basis and you're trying to get over, you know, concussions and other injuries, it's tough. It's tough to get that rhythm going again. He's a wonderful skater. He's got great hockey sense out there. But you know, here's an opportunity again for the Coyotes. There's the quick pass, and just misses again. Butker with that great outside speed.
Matt Donovan didn't get it deep. It was slapped away by Schlemko. And now Colin McDonald winds it in behind the Phoenix goal. Schlemko works it around to the far side. Rundblad up the middle to Klinkhammer. And the Buckovs got that.
Well, they're going to try and throw the puck on net as often as they can and look for some rebounds. Everybody's driving towards the net. It's pretty simple hockey. Try to get the blue line, get the puck towards the net. You hear all the coaches talk about it. Shoot from anywhere and everywhere. Force the goaltender to make a save. If he mishandles it, you got a chance to possibly score a goal. But the Islanders, you know, I mentioned earlier on, Howard, they just haven't been able to get in sync. I mean, they really haven't done a lot. That was an easy save for Nabokov, as it was from the outside, just a wrist shot. But I think Phoenix there was looking more just to get the puck to the net. But the Islanders just, I don't know, half a step off, and just where they've been placing the puck, they haven't been able to get in and really forecheck the Phoenix Coyotes. You know, like we saw last year in the playoffs with Pittsburgh.
Matt Donovan, hard feed, and it's pushed wide by Grabner. Good setup, though. And the Coyotes look to come out after just picking up their first shot in about 11 minutes. but they're offside there. Verbata way beyond the blue line, unable to straddle.
Well, that's exactly what Jack Capuano wants Donovan to do, is to get up on the play. He's got great hockey sense, and there's that quick pass to Michael Grabner, who deflects it towards the net. You know, he had more time. That's the other thing they talked about that they didn't do very well, is they have more time with the puck. They gave it up too quickly. Michael Grabner could have handled that, I think, and taken a look and did a little bit more with that opportunity.
So he played 3.5 of the second period. Shots are 8-6 Phoenix. Still 2-0 Islanders, and now Okposo. Rubbed into the boards by McCollum. Orpakowski works it ahead. On comes Doan, number 19, the captain of the Phoenix Coyotes. Orpakowski hustles into the corner. Steers it to the near boards. Ekman-Larsson there. Now for Korpikoski. Out to Ekman-Larsson, and that one hit a stick on the way through. Ribeiro in the corner. Ribeiro all the way out to the far side. McCulloch's shot redirected, and it looked like Nabokov just got a piece as it slithered wide.
Yeah, double Karen. Of course, Travis Hamonic was without a stick. Now Kyle Okposo gave his stick to Travis Hamonic. That's just the smart thing to do.
Hamonic having a good battle in front with Korpikoski as that puck sailed wide. They're still going at it, those two, about as much as you can with the rules the way they are now. Ribeiro to the boards, out to the blue line. And finally wound around by Ekman-Larsson. McDonald cuts it off, and he is shown a seat by Doan.
Almost looked like a hit from behind.
Hamonic really put a marginal cross-check there on Ribeiro behind the net. Hamonic might have gotten away with one, but either way, the Islanders back in, and here's Tavares now. Tavares peeling back, rifled it off of Smith's stick. And Hickey back in center.
Yeah, went through some skates, so Matt Molson couldn't pick it up in time as he was parked in front of the net.
Moss, number 18. It's David Moss out of Livonia, Michigan, where Mike Modano is from. Become quite a hotbed for producing hockey talent over the last couple of decades, Livonia, Michigan. Wisnowski across to Hickey, and that's held. Now, where the Hatchers were from?
I'm not certain.
I don't remember anymore. But anyway, face-off coming up.
Yeah, there's Ribeiro. Now watch Travis Hamonic. Oh, he tried to grab it from Matt Molson. He says, well, that's a lefty. And now Kyle Okposo's able to come down and give him the proper stick, which is a right-hander. Good, smart play by Kyle Okposo. Travis Hamonic, as you said, is laying a beating on everybody in front of that net with that stick. Perhaps Kyle uses a little thicker stick than Travis does.
I'm not the one getting smacked, but I kind of like seeing that because they practically legislated that out of the game. And the officials tonight, Brian Puckmar and Chris Rooney, letting a lot of that stuff go, just as we saw Saturday night.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, they're going to allow the players to play a little bit more physical in the defensive zone, protect the goaltender, and you're right, Howie, it's the right thing to do.
Klinkhammer throws a low shot, and Nabokov squeezes in his glove, and there's no further play.
Well, Chipchurch going to the net on that Klinkhammer shot, looking for a deflection, possible rebound, but again, you can see that that's a strategy for the Phoenix team. Watch Klinkhammer go to the outside. Wisnowski does a nice job of forcing him outside the dots, and that's an easy save for Nabokov. But again, if he mishandles it, Chipchurch driving to the net has an opportunity.
Saw Chipchurch on the draw with Cizikas. Controlled by the Islanders. And up the right side now, Casey Cizikas has to reach back for it before bouncing the puck in. Stone steers it to Yandel. Nabokov cuts it off. 13:55 remaining in the second period. The flow in this game has been in fits and starts. Been there for a couple of shifts at a time, and then it dissipates.
Both teams check it very well, particularly in the neutral zone, not wanting to give anyone any ice. But I like what Phoenix has really done in their defensive zone, as they really haven't spent much time there.
Back in they come. Verbata with a shot stopped by Nabokov.
Yeah, good quick wrist shot that handcuffed Nabokov just a little bit.
Bacher tries a wraparound. Nabokov was ready for that. And Colin McDonald hits the red line, and then from outside the Phoenix line steers it in. Bailey next to get it. He's checked by Hensel. Worked around by Rundblad. And up come the Coyotes. Botker, number 89. Steered away by Nabokov. And Bailey. Close quarters with Nielsen. They get to the Phoenix line. Nielsen drops it off a skate. It was intended for straight. And Donovan's able to get there ahead of Verbata, who forces Donovan behind the Islander net. Bailey a touch feed to Nielsen. Hans Nielsen now feeds the left wing. Grabner against McCulloch. And then Doan steps into Grabner as well, but he kicks it to Bailey. A drop pass up wide by Tavares, backed up by Hamonic. Works in deep, then has one go off a skate, put down by Tavares. John Tavares tried to feed Grabner, couldn't get it there. Ribeiro broke it up. And it was cleared out of the zone by Schlemko. Tavares puts a move on McCulloch. Stays high in the slot. Drops for Hamonic. He shoots. Blocked by McCulloch. And pushed between his legs back towards the blue line. Covered by Oposo. Now for Hamonic. In front off of Oposo and wide. Doan to the corner. Looks for Ribeiro. Finds him in center. Mike Ribeiro up to the Islander blue line. Doan goes to the net. So does the puck. That's steered away by Nabokov. Now Doan feeds it back to Stone. He drives one off the pads of Nabokov. The Islanders the other way. Oposo through the middle. In over the Phoenix line against Ekman Larson. He forces Oposo to the corner. Molson shrugs off Doan. Wrap around. And 2 saves were made by Smith. Because after the first wraparound attempt was stopped, the puck stayed loose, and Molson had another whack at it. Well, the puck ends up in the Islander bench, and there's no further play. 11:31 to go, second period.
11:31 of the second period, and the Islanders lead 2-0. The best substantial pressure that the Islanders had. Watch this play by John Tavares between the legs. 4 Coyotes surrounding him, and he's able to get the puck to Travis Hamonic. Nice block by Mahalik on the Hamonic shot. But again, watch Kyle Oposo going to work. He has no gloves. Matt Molson once, twice, whacks that short side play, but Mike Smith's got the big flippers, so that isn't going to get by him. But Kyle Oposo, boy, working hard, but without the gloves, you got to tie those gloves on, I think, for the Islanders, because they're losing them all over the place.
Well, maybe the birthday boy can help take care of that. Shaky Kraus.
Yeah,
he's celebrating his 63rd birthday today. Doesn't look a day over 65, though.
I was thinking closer to 75 myself. But
I like Shaky. I'm trying to be nice to him. He's a legend around here. Working under Scott Boggs, the equally legendary head equipment manager for the Islanders.
I'm sure they like to have something else to celebrate with. A birthday would be one thing. An Islander win would be twice as good.
The Islanders up 2-0. 10:53 to go in the second period. So happy birthday, Shaky Kraus. And Wisnowski winds the puck in.
Now the Islanders starting to do a better job of getting in and controlling the puck. Mentioned earlier on, Phoenix was just getting on it and right out right away and no substantial pressure. But now, good sustained pressure for the Islanders.
Bouchard out to Hamonic. His drive kicked away, somewhat painfully it appeared, by Moss, number 18, who's out at the hash marks. Bouchard, and on the forecheck with Martin, it came right out in front. Moss doesn't clear. McDonald's drive, tip, save made by Smith. Rebound, Regan. Oh, and that one is blocked. Painfully it appeared as well by Vermette. Right out in front.
Regan had a tremendous look at that Mike Smith, the goaltender, and he wanted to get it up higher, and his reaction said it all. It was a golden opportunity right in the slot area.
Resio turned it over, and here's a bank feed from Martin to McDonald. He shoots it, a save by Smith. Gets a little shower, and Coyotes players will take mild exception, and the compulsory shoving, so it would appear, goes on behind the net while Hamonic and McDonald hold up behind the circles to keep the face-off deep. Islanders up 2-0 as we take a look at what's coming up. Islanders' upcoming schedule brought to you by Lexus. A couple of games on the road in Chicago Friday and Nashville Saturday. And then the Buffalo Sabres, who have lost their first 3 games, averaging just a goal a game, will come to the Coliseum.
Well, Islanders have picked up their pace in the offensive zone. A nice shot by Andrew McDonald. Matt Martin in front got the original deflection, and then Peter Regan with a golden opportunity, but another big save by Smith. Boy, he's the difference maker right now in this game, as the Islanders have had half a dozen good chances over the last 5 minutes to score.
It remains 2-0 Islanders. Donovan in his own zone sidesteps the oncoming Hansel. And Botker now Works back in the corner, out to the blue line. Schlemko to Vrbata, throws it at the net. It ricocheted back and backhanded by Hansel and stopped and held by Nabokov.
Bottker has great speed. He was on the first line for the first couple of games.
See Nielsen and Bottker, the countrymen, embracing there.
Yeah.
Both from Denmark.
I'll see you later. Yeah, it's your turn to buy. I know exactly what they're saying. But he's got great speed. You know, all those Danish hockey players, they can all skate. They've got great wheels and a great big ice surface over there in Europe. But Bottker was on the first line with Ribeiro. Nothing was going on, Howie, and Dave Tippett decided to put him on the second line and move Korpakowski up to play with Ribeiro and see if they could get a little bit more offense going.
You know, you coached in Germany. Did you ever get over to Denmark and see games there?
No, I didn't see any games. I had training camp there once with my German team in Krefeld. So enjoyed myself there very much.
Hamonic kind of shanks a pass there, and the Coyotes keep it in. Korpakowski. Korpakowski moved it behind the net, looking for Ribeiro. Ribeiro turning against Tavares, who maintained position, and eventually the puck. Molson drops it to Hamonic. Raposo with a little room, closed up. Molson trails, can't get a shot off, but there'll be a penalty to the Coyotes. The Islanders will go to the power play.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little hooking because nobody could really gather in the puck. Kept bouncing on him, and it just seemed to be bouncing on him. Couldn't get that angle. So
Phoenix, number 63, 2 minutes, hooking.
Ribeiro with the hooking on Kyle Raposo. Watch Kyle as he was handling the puck, and here comes Matt Molson, and there's the old stick right in the midsection again. How we've seen that earlier called, and they continue to be talking about consistency. The referees have been very consistent tonight.
11:15, the time of Ribeiro's hooking penalty. Islanders 1 for 2 with 3 power play shots. Remember, they had a 5-on-3 for virtually just save 4/10 of a second, the full 2 minutes, and that was cut down to 30 seconds on the second one after the Tavares goal made it 2-0, and here the Islanders go offside.
And the Islanders trying to carry that puck in. One thing that Doug Weight practices a whole lot. We talked about it last year. They've got their routes that they run. They have to go to certain positions, lend a lot of support, quick puck movement. They did a nice job so far in being able to get into the blue line, inside the blue line area with control.
Regan, McDonald, Bailey, Donovan, and Bouchard, the first guys up on the power play for the Islanders, as the Tavares line had just been on. Here's Donovan firing all the way through and in. Smith thought he had it, but he never had control, and Matt Donovan will get his first National Hockey League goal to give the Islanders a 3-0 lead. It's a power play goal. He'll be able to tell his grandkids he drove one right through the goaltender.
And the referee has perfect position. You could see it was a loose puck, but Donovan makes a nice move at the top of the blue line, just hanging on to it. Looked like he might pass it right or left. He just kind of faked, and then he got the good shot away. And you're right, Smitty just has the puck, and it just slides this way through. No real excuse for him to not have this goal. But Donovan doesn't care if it might be classified as an easy one. 20 years from now, he'll say it was a 100-mile slap shot top corner.
Yep. And so Mike Smith gives up his second power play goal of the night. The Coyotes now have given up 5 power play goals against in 11 opportunities. And it's going to be an early project for Dave Tippett and his coaching staff.
Yeah, and he's burning a little bit because when he played with Hartford, he was a tremendous penalty killer, great skater, good hockey sense. So when that penalty killing doesn't work right, he takes it personally.
Although, of course, as good a goaltender as Mike Smith is, and he's become one of the real good ones in this league, frankly, that one's on him.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. And goaltenders are, they're human. They're going to let the odd soft one in.
Hansel with a drive, and he scores as he rifles one over the shoulder of Evgeny Nabokov. And so 43 seconds after Donovan scores, Hansel cuts the Islanders' lead to 3-1.
And Jack Capuano wasn't able to put his checking line on the ice, and he likes to go back with Casey Suzuki. He's got Franz Nielsen, but good hard work. There's the quick pass out to Hansel. That's just a great shot. And Nabokov not able to establish position, maybe even a little screen. Oh, that went right through the legs of Josh Bailey. I'm not sure Nabokov saw that till the last second, but look where he is in the crease. He was down, wasn't able to get out. Nabby has been very aggressive early in the season, likes to establish his position at the top of the circle. Well, that man didn't give him an opportunity. He just whistled that shot over his glove.
So back to a 2-goal lead for the Islanders at 3-1 with 7:25 remaining in the second period. On comes Regan. Peter Regan for Brock Nelson. And going hard into the net and forcing it off of the moorings was Pierre-Marc Bouchard, as he talks about it with Moss.
Rundblad and Bouchard both headed towards the net. Bouchard couldn't avoid the net as Nelson just dumped it in behind, expecting his winger just to be able to pick up the loose puck. But you know, all the forwards are told by their coaches to go towards the net, and sometimes it's literally. They head towards that net. He's got that big curve on his stick, Howie, so you know he's itching for a chance to get a shot on net.
Not quite the Stan Mikita, Bobby Hull amount of curvature, because that's no longer allowed. As bring the face-off off of the icing back into the Islanders zone. But a lot of centermen, you know, the centers don't like it that much because it takes the backhand away.
Well, it does. Some guys do use pretty good curves, but Sidney Crosby, he uses that flat stick, and John Tavares doesn't have much curve on his stick. And I think it's important to be able to pass on your backhand and your forehand when you're going down the middle of the ice.
Nomsky wound the puck around, cut off by Doan. He worked it out to the blue line. Stone throws it back in that way. Regan on it. Korpikoski knocked down by Regan. And a pair of Coyotes go after it in the corner. Ribeiro emerged with it. Now to Doan. Quick shot off the post. That hit the inside of the post. Great shot by Shane Doan.
Oh, terrific. Look, they even caught the heel of Nabokov's stick, and then you're right, just caromed off the post. They might review that one because it came out awful quick.
We were talking about that the other night. Pucks are going to come out quicker than ever this year because those nets are more shallow. And so the puck doesn't stay in that net as easily as it once did. It hits those cords and bounces, in many cases, straight back out.
That was a big goal for Phoenix to be able to get themselves back in the game. Islanders, had they been able to get out of this period up 3 goals, would have been really in the catbird seat. Now it's a game on again.
And Nabokov sees that wrist shot by Yandel sail wide. Coyotes getting a little more pressure now. Hansel fires, and Nabokov stopped that with his arm. Again, it comes out of the corner, and Nabokov's got to be ready. They're firing from all angles at Nabokov. But for the Islanders, congratulations, Matt Donovan. He led the American Hockey League defenseman in scoring. Now he's got an NHL goal. Islanders up 3-1 late in the second period. Make sure to stay with us for the second period intermission report presented by Delta. Peter will chat with Matt Donovan. I would imagine either the birthday boy, Shaky Krause, or Scott Boggs will inscribe the first NHL goal puck for Donovan. We'll also take you around the NHL, show you how Craig Berube is making out in his debut as the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers after Peter Laviolette was let go after just 3 games yesterday. Steered away by Nabokov.
And that just doesn't make any sense. Howie, 3 games. Not happy with the coach. Fire him at the end of the year. What does 3 games do? I don't understand that.
Well, yeah, it is puzzling. And then the other side of the puzzle is that if your head coach was going to be on that much of a tightrope, here comes Grabner. He fires the save by Smith. If Laviolette was going to be on that kind of tightrope from the beginning, well, why even bring him to training camp?
Yeah, exactly right. Good shot by Michael Grabner.
And a Grabner score! I don't know if Grabner touched that or not, but it floated past Smith, and it's now 4-1 Islanders.
Looked like it took a crazy hop off the stick of Slemko. Watch this. There's the shot by Grabner. Smith's holding his position, takes it in off the chest, and the Islanders go to work. And the puck retrieval, Bailey and Michael Grabner, they just stay with it, and then eventually it gets right back. And puck trying to get to the front of the net is John Tavares, but watch it go off the stick of Slemko, and nothing Smith can do there. But a little bit of a lucky break, but you know what? When you work hard, you get lucky breaks, and Grabner and Bailey, heck of a job out there. And John Tavares finds a way to get his second goal, bouncing it in off the stick of number 6.
Well, first time the Islanders had a 3-goal lead, it lasted 43 seconds. Here, Tavares with his second of the game and the year from Bailey and Grabner at 14:49. Now, is that the shaft of Grabner's stick?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Slemko's stick. He had it down on the ice, and Grabner was trying to throw, or Bailey was trying to throw it across, or excuse me, Tavares. I'll get it right. There's 3 players out there.
So it will stay as Tavares' goal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and the Coyotes were out hitting the Islanders 11-1 up into that point, Howie. So it weren't a very physical period for the Islanders. And you and I have seen or have heard many times with Capuano talking about his team, the need for them to be physical. Well, they were totally out hit so far in this period. So not thinking much about hitting, but I guess you're thinking about scoring.
And so Tavares with 2. We were talking about hat tricks earlier, and we'll see the answer a little bit later to our Cadillac trivia question about guy who had hat tricks in 3 straight games. Well, Tavares is 1 away from a hat trick here. Bombed around by McCulloch, but recovered by Hickey. Wisnowski for a Poso. That went wide. Hickey again. Thrown down by Moss. But Larson working in the corner with 4:21 remaining in the period. And banked off the boards. And into the crowd. Strange game from an Islanders standpoint.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ebb and flow, Howie. That's what it is. One minute you're watching and it's the Islanders are starting to take it to the Coyotes, and then the next couple of minutes it's the Coyotes with some momentum.
If you had to sum up the Islanders' performance to this point, would you say it's much better than just okay?
No, I think it is just okay. I think if you're, there's been some momentum swings. I think the Islanders are battling more now.
And yet, just okay has produced a 4-1 lead.
Well, they've had 2 power play goals, and a lot of times when your game isn't as good as you'd like it to be, the special teams can make a difference. So certainly having the 2 power play goals has helped to keep the Islanders involved in the game and with the momentum and feeling good about themselves. But hey, I'm not saying they played bad.
No, they've just been okay.
Yeah.
With all of that, they're up 3, which is pretty good.
Yeah, they've had moments where they've been very good, and it's been a pretty well-played game for the most part by both teams.
Somebody had Regan got knocked down. I don't know if he took a stick behind the play or what. Nabokov holds the puck, and Hamonic working over. I think that was Hansel.
Hansel or Moss. Moss is a big individual.
Or was it Doan?
Yeah, it looks like Shane Doan there, number 19, trying to get things going for his team a little bit as he pushed Hamonic into the net. Travis didn't like that, but I like what the Islanders have done in the last couple of minutes is that their battle level is up. They're starting to get to the corners first. The puck retrieval is much better. Where, for a large part of the game, Howie, the Coyotes have been able to get to all the loose pucks and move up the ice relatively unscathed. But Peter Regan seems to be all right. And then on the bench there, as he took a hit around that blue line area. Hockey players are a very resilient group of guys. They're used to having to come back from some pretty good shots.
And now from the draw, the Coyotes control. Worked in the corner by Lucas Lesio. Lesio, a rookie who was basically battling with Ty Domi's son, Max, to make the team, but they sent Max back to junior. And Lesio is up for the club.
Well, we said there hadn't been much physical presence out there, and Matt Martin is trying to reestablish that thought.
That's onside for Lesio, and he chips it towards the net. Recovered now by Cizikas. The outlet to McDonald. And over the line against Rundblad. Schlemko sidesteps the oncoming Matt Martin. 2:50 to go in the period.
Matt Martin must have been listening to my comments that the Islanders weren't hitting anybody because he went out of his way both times to really lay a good lick on somebody.
Nice little feed from Grabner. Now to McDonald. He scores!
Now you start to bang a few bodies out there. You start to loosen the opposition up. You get everybody involved in the game, and it all started with Matt Martin as far as I'm concerned. But good pass from Grabner to Frans Nielsen, and Colin McDonald's able to take a good hard look, and he knows exactly where he wants to go with that puck. Low glove side, and he's able to beat Mike Smith, and you have to wonder if Dave Tippett's maybe thinking about giving him a little bit of rest because he's given up 5 goals now, gave up 4 the other night with 47-plus shots. And so the Islanders have been able to find some holes in Mr. Smith in tonight's game.
2 really nice assists as well tonight for Franz Nielsen, who's got the puck here as Grabner started the play. And Nielsen slipped it back to McDonald, and it's 17-24. McDonald has made it 5-1 New York.
Yeah, it was the quick up by the defenseman. I think it was Donovan that got the puck up to Michael Grabner in a hurry. It started the transition for the Islanders.
Coyotes keep it in the Islanders zone with just under 2 minutes remaining in the period. Colin McDonald with his first of the year. Klinkhammer in over the line. Driving to the net. Wisnowski got rid of him. Maybe they're listening when we said they've been kind of okay at best. They've really picked up the tempo since then.
Taking exception to being criticized for not being great.
Oh, that's the thing. Not even a criticism. Molson a shot and a stick save made by Smith. You know, just the observation that they've been crisper, and yet I guess it's a sign of the improving depth and talent on this team that now they could play a mediocre type game and be up at that time 3 and now 4 goals.
Well, also that it just tells you just that there's more talent on the team, and maybe you don't have to be 100% every shift and every night to still figure out ways to win games. After all, Howie, at the end of the day, it's you know, figuring out the ways to win, and that's what they want to do, and that's what they're doing so far tonight.
In control with 47 seconds remaining in the second period and up 5-1. And Korpikoski back at the Phoenix line.
And good balanced scoring, and that's always important. You and I have talked about secondary scoring for a fair number of years.
Well, that seems to sort of be a thing of the past now. It started to get that way in the second half of last season when the Islanders were getting scoring from others beyond the Tavares line, and that's continuing here.
Another good save by Smith. A good hard shot, low shot by Bouchard. He'd love to get a goal, get himself on track.
Yandel away from Donovan. 9 seconds left. Yandel just slides it to Nabokov, who wanted to keep the play moving, but in the end, the whistle, and there'll be a face-off for the Islanders zone at 6.4 to go.
Nifty move by Yandel to get past Donovan. Just pushed it by. Little chip shot past him and then retrieved the puck. Tried to fool Nabokov on the play, but Nabby was going to have nothing to do with that. He knew that Yandel had nowhere to go with it. Covered up the 5-hole quickly.
Islanders have spread the scoring out. 5 Islanders have at least 2 points or have 2 points in this game. Here comes McDonald, but time will run out. And the Islanders, as Martin shoots after the horn, a 5-1 lead over the Phoenix Coyotes at the end of 2 periods. So Donovan with his first in the NHL. Tavares, his second of the night. McDonald's first of the year. A 3-goal second period for the New York Islanders. Coyotes have outshot them 24-20, but it's 5-1 New York. Peter and our intermission report coming up next. Up to Islanders 5, Coyotes 1, and as we get set for the start of the third period, the end result of those 5 Islander goals will be a change in goal by the Phoenix Coyotes as the former San Jose Shark Thomas Greiss will take over the goaltending. But first we'll revisit that Cadillac trivia question we were talking about earlier. Only one player in the history of the National Hockey League recorded a hat trick in 3 consecutive games, and you've got to go back to the very, very early days. We'll tell you who the answer is at our first whistle. Again, Thomas Greiss kid from Germany, played with the San Jose Sharks. In goal now for Phoenix as the Coyotes move it deep into the Islanders zone.
I think this is a good move by Dave Tippett. I mean, his goaltender is not having his best game in tonight's game, and it looks like it's pretty much going to be over. So rest this guy. He's going to probably play 65, 70 games. Give Thomas Greiss an opportunity to get some work. He needs a backup goaltender to be able to play once in a while.
This is also as Doan fires, Nabokov saves, and it was Hamonic who got the biggest piece of Nabokov there, although he was kind of pushed into him. And so the players will get together and chat about that for a moment. So while they're yakking it up, first take a look at the guy at the other end, Thomas Greiss, 27-year-old. In his Phoenix Coyotes debut, we talked about going back to the early days of the National Hockey League. It was the first year that the league was in business when Joe Malone, Montreal Canadiens, had hat tricks in 3 straight games. Stan was there covering the Canadiens at the time.
And I think Stan celebrated his 30th birthday that year. I believe now, Stan would know this, but I think he scored like a ton of goals. Like I want to say like 50 in about 35 games or something, Howie. He was really a prolific goal scorer.
Before what we now know as the modern era of the National Hockey League when they put the red line in. So here it's Bottker, number 89 for Phoenix. Working into the corner for Hansel. We turn Bailey around. Donovan in there too. Coyotes get it back. Verbata drops it off. Nabokov made a save through traffic on that shot by Schlemko.
Nabokov hasn't had a lot of action or sustained action. A lot of shots from the outside. They've done I think the Islanders have done a very good job. We talked about, the ebb and flow of this game, and the Islanders have been in trouble more often than they've been out of trouble, but they've done a good job protecting Nabokov.
Minute and a half gone in the third. Coyotes have spent most of that time in the Islanders zone, and Nabokov stops the shot from Ekman-Larsson as Donovan gets into a little scrap. Active night for Matt Donovan. With his first National Hockey League goal tonight, coming against Mike Smith.
Well, you got to protect your goaltender. I believe that's Klinkhammer that's down there, number 36. The Coyotes have gone to the net all night, and even more so at the start of this third period. I'm certain that there's Smith sitting on down there, getting a little rest.
Makes sense too, Butchie, because this is game 2 of a 5-game road trip for the Coyotes.
Absolutely.
Going to Detroit, Philadelphia, and Carolina.
Well, we had 47 shots, I believe, the other night in San Jose, so they traveled across. Matt Donovan's going to get a penalty. So, when your goaltender and your team is not playing its best game or not able to compete with the opposition, then you got to give your goaltender some rest.
So, with Donovan in the box for roughing at 1:33, the Coyotes get their second power play. They didn't manage a shot on their first. And they've got a little problem here at the point with Rundblad having all he can do to hold on to the puck till it's finally forced loose. Cizikas, little toe drag to Morton, and a save made by Greiss right alongside the goalpost.
A little toe drag by Casey Cizikas. Went to his backhand. I'm not sure if he was passing it to Matt Martin or just lost it, but a pretty good opportunity for Matt Martin, a short-handed try.
Ekman-Larsson there with one of the longest drop passes you'll ever see. Greiss winds it up. The right to Rundblad.
Near breakaway for Michael Grabner. Short-handed opportunity as Travis Hamonic had a good look at him. Michael half a step away from being able to handle that puck.
There 10 left to the Phoenix power play. Ekman-Larsson away from Grabner into the Islanders zone for Hansel. Stripped by Grabner and a little company with Nielsen. But Grabner will go to the bench.
The Islanders have been very good with their stick.
Cizikas applying pressure, but here's Verbata in against Hickey. Turned it over, and it's cleared by Martin, spinning it past Keith Yandel. Yandel's a bit of a rarity. A kid that grew up in the Boston area and wound up playing in the Quebec League. Had a chance to go to the University of New Hampshire, but opted to play juniors instead.
I just felt there was a better way for him to get to the National Hockey League. It's a different style of hockey, junior, from college.
Yandel drops it back, gets a return, but shanks it. And then Schlemko's got to bring it back out of the zone, and as it slipped back in, offside the call, they'll bring that one all the way down.
Well, one of the areas I'd love to see the Islanders get a little bit better is to score a few more shorthanded goals. There's a good pursuit by Matt Martin over to Cizikas. There's the toe drag, and it ends up back to Matt Martin, but he can't handle it. It's a little bit tight to his feet. But, you know, shorthanded goals can be really momentum changers. They can really deflate the opposition, and, of course, they can get your team going. Islanders a couple years ago, how we remember how prolific Grabner and Nielsen were killing penalties but scoring shorthanded goals.
Nielsen wins the draw to Grabner. Back now to Hamonic. That goes off a skate, recovered by Yandel under pursuit from Grabner. 19 to go on the Phoenix power play. Moss back in his own zone. Now for Ribeiro. Mike Ribeiro to Yandel. He put it off of Oposo. And that'll just about finish the power play. Closing couple of seconds. Ribeiro sends it back in, but here's Donovan out of the box, and again, no shots for the Coyotes. 2 power plays. They don't manage a shot on either one. Now Tavares back in. Tavares with 2 goals. Tried to get around. Yandel couldn't do it. Backed up by Oposo, and then Hickey. Hickey's pass fell short of Tavares. And the puck back in the Islanders zone.
Well, Tavares surrounded once he was inside that Phoenix blue line. Not much room to manipulate.
Kind of used to that.
Yeah, he really is. You got to work in a crowd, work in a phone booth if you're John Tavares.
Puck mishandled by Brown. Molson to Oposo. Wide against Ekman Larson. Oposo strong on the puck. Banked it off the side of the net. Hickey along the boards, out to the blue line. Drive by Wisnowski, knocked aside in front. Back to Molson, swings it wide. Recovered by Oposo. Greiss got over. And now Hickey. Thomas Hickey across. Wisnowski's one-timer. Snapped not his stick, but that of Lucas Lessio. So Hickey now. Lessio with a fresh piece of lumber. Oposo to Regan. It goes off Ekman Larson's stick.
Long shift for Molson and Kyle Oposo. Big shift for Kyle Oposo. Had the puck most of the 45-50 seconds he's been out there. Been a real bull along the boards.
The puck's been in the Phoenix zone for quite a while, and it stays there a little longer until Chipchura finally carries out into the Islanders zone, powering towards the slot, shoots, and a save made by Nabokov. So he'll hold on. 14:54 left in the third.
Yeah, good job by the Islanders on the forecheck-in. Again, puck retrieval. We talk about it all the time. Kyle Oposo, again, staying on the puck, looking for rebounds and continual movement. Good hard shift. Long shift for both Matt Molson and Kyle, but they were relentless.
I'm going to be too, because I'm going to make you feel even older than I usually do.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. You know, we're going to go into Nashville Saturday night, and we're going to see Eric Nystrom. Now, just seeing Bobby Nystrom's son playing in the NHL, that's got to age you a little bit, right?
Yes.
He's 30 years old now, and he scored a goal tonight on a penalty shot. Eric Nystrom is 30.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago that he was just a tiny little tot, but he's carved himself out a nice career, and good for him to score on a penalty shot. And his dad could score the odd clutch goal, so why not Eric?
They're working on the clock here, and the clock comes into sharper focus when we stop and think that a kid born in the final year of the Islander dynasty is now 30 years old. That's a little scary.
Yeah, it really is. Well, I can think back to my own family, and they're a little older than Eric, so hey, listen, and then you have grandkids, and so you look at that and you go, holy smokes, you know what? I mean, someone tell me where time went.
Well, good for Eric, off to a nice start with the Nashville Predators.
Well, he's a good hard worker, you know, and the DNA there is pretty strong, Howie, and he comes to the rink, he's prepared, he plays physical, he'll fight, he can score goals, had a nice run in Dallas last year.
I'm sure the diehards know this, but how cool is it that Bobby Bourne's son is married to Clark Gillies' daughter?
I know, we were talking about that on my radio show, the Butch Goring show yesterday. I had Bobby Bourne as one of my guests, and we were talking about that and said, now, Bourne, when your son and new daughter-in-law finally have a child, and if it's a boy, what kind of, given the DNA, what do you expect a hockey player to be like? And he was going, well, I think they'll be pretty tough, that's for sure. But I asked him if anybody would have any hands. So
That's not right.
I'm just kidding, Clarkie and Borney, obviously, because they were both 30-goal scorers, and boy, the Hall of Fame, and you look at some of those names, it's some great hockey players.
Well, while we've been feeling old up here, all that Michigas downstairs was to put 14 seconds back on the clock.
Not sure who would want him back on the clock. Certainly the Coyotes would just as soon have this game over.
It's 5-1 Islanders. Brock Nelson driving to the net, shooting short side, and that's stopped by Greiss. Donovan at the line. Donovan steps up. He fires and misses the net.
Boy, he's had some opportunities tonight, hasn't he?
He's got one. Kid who was born. We talked about Chris Brown of the Coyotes being born in Texas. You know, Matt Donovan was born in another place that you wouldn't consider a hockey hotbed, Edmond, Oklahoma. Then went to high school in Ottawa. Played in the U.S. Hockey League there with Cedar Rapids before moving on to the University of Denver. So he's also had an interesting route to the NHL.
Said his dad was a big Boston fan, Bobby Orr.
Drive by Stone, knocked aside in front.
And Matt Donovan cheered for the Dallas Stars and a fellow named Mike Modano.
Backhander by Yandel goes wide with 13:38 remaining in the third. Shots are 28-24 Phoenix. But the Islanders up 5-1. Yandel plays it in behind the net. Hansel sweeps it towards the goal mouth, batted away. Grabner now with Bailey. Grabner pushes the pass towards himself, keeps going. Grabner pulls up on Yandel, tried to put it in front towards Josh Bailey, but couldn't get it there.
Little chip and chase for Michael Grabner, and you know who's going to win that race most times.
Hasn't had a breakaway, though, tonight.
No. Well, he still has 4, though, so he's averaging still 1 a game.
Butch keeping the Grabner breakaway-o-meter. You said you were going to do it opening night. You've been true to your word.
Yeah, we're going to keep track.
And a penalty coming here. Grabner leading for one. Gets one.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a high stick from Hansel.
An Islander power play when we get back. 12:49 to go in the third. Coming up, the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. And with Hansel in the penalty box for high sticking, the Islanders will go to the power play. It's a minor for high sticking, and here it is.
Oh, watch him as he checks Grabner. This is the defensive zone and gets his arm up above the shoulder. You can see Michael Grabner right away alerting to the ref to the elbow, the forearm to the head area. That's not a very smart penalty. I mean, I don't care what the score is. I mean, you got to be a little bit more disciplined. There's nothing gained by doing what Hansel did. I was just being lazy and really just not losing the focus.
And as we were talking about the Nystrom family earlier, Eric Hornick is only too happy to point out the time of that penalty at 7:11, the time of the first overtime period when Bobby Nystrom scored his Stanley Cup winning goal back on the 24th of May, 1980. A time so precious to Eric Hornick that when he sends out, and many of you probably get this if you're on his, whether it's Twitter account or whatever else he sends it out on, but he does this great thing called the skinny after every game, and he actually sends it out at 7:11 a.m. every morning. I think he's rather attached to this franchise.
I'm not up at 7:11 in the morning, so I don't get it till about 9.
Gee, back in those days, you were just getting in at 7:11.
Oh, Howie.
Well,
that's probably from a road trip, right?
exactly. Cross country.
Yeah.
Here's Bouchard. Up now for McDonald. He's trying to squeeze through a pair of Coyotes. And he finds Bailey in the corner. Works it around the other way. Cut off by Stone. And Stone going to just lug it out of his own zone with 40 seconds remaining on the Islander power play.
Yeah, good speed by Stone to be able to lug that puck out. A couple of good quick strides.
In comes McDonald. A drop to Regan. Peter Regan sweeps it neatly to Bailey. He and Donovan exchange. Colin McDonald joins the party. Passing it around nicely. And
There's something a little bit better, I guess. Colin McDonald a couple of times could have fired that thing from the slot.
And finally it hops over the stick of Donovan. And Donovan now for Regan. Closing couple of seconds of the power play. McDonald centering feed hit a stick. Hansel out of the box. Islanders did not get a whole lot going on that power play. They moved it around well enough but did not manage a shot. But 10:37 to go in the third period. And the Islanders up by 4.
Yeah, a little too fancy and some good passes, but you got to shoot the puck towards the net. But this is the kind of game that as a player you want to play in. You know, you got a nice 5-1 lead, Howie. You're feeling good about yourself. Looking to sniff another goal out. If you're John Tavares, you're looking for that third one. You don't get a lot of these games, so you got to enjoy the moment.
You had them, as Eric Hornick recalled, somewhat regularly.
Yeah, and I learned to enjoy them too.
Yeah.
But
and yet Al Arbour would always find something not to be pleased about.
yeah, he was actually harder on you when you were winning than when you were losing.
Now Ribeiro leaves it for Verbata. And Martin a little chip out of the zone. With 10:10 to go in the third. Here's Cizikas. Cross to Hamonic. Martin bursting ahead with Nelson. Nelson knocked it down. Would have been a high stick if an Islander touched it next.
Nelson out there because Colin McDonald was just on the power play just a short while ago. A little extra rest. So Brock Nelson gets a chance to play with the checking line, as I like to call him.
We haven't talked about the fact that Cal Clutterbuck is very close to returning to the Islanders. He has skated with them over the last couple of days and was thought there was a chance he might even play tonight, but they have not brought him back yet. Icing called. Now when he does come back, one of the 23 who are the incumbents, including Kartner and Griffin Reinhardt as well as Eric Bolton, somebody is going to have to go off that 23-man roster.
Right, it's going to create a problem. You know, listening to Jack Capuano talk about Clutterbuck yesterday, pretty sure that he was going to try and give him a few more days just to let him practice, and you know, it doesn't hurt. And now the decision is going to be even tougher because looks like you might come away with a 5-1 win. You played pretty well. And coaches don't like to change lineups when they're winning. They're superstitious animals.
Jack Capuano has not changed his yet among the first 3 games. Certainly little to find fault with tonight to this point. Centering feed for Korpikoski. Put that one up high. 9:10 to go in the third.
Good give and go with Moss. Korpikoski cutting towards the net and winging it off the crossbar.
Just the fact the Islanders are talking about getting Clutterbuck back soon is quite a surprise. They were saying 4 to 6 weeks, and it's been way less than that.
Yeah, he really has healed in a hurry. Always a tough guy, very physical individual.
Chance for Molson. Blockered aside by Greiss. Sent through the slot. Wisnowski. Covered by Tavares. In some traffic, turns it over. And Verbata to the red line.
John is always trying to create something to get him in the offensive zone. He's got such great feet, great stick work. And you relax a little bit, he'll make you look foolish.
Now Botker feeds the blue line. Ekman Larson, a wrist shot that went off of something, and then Nabokov lost sight of it. I'm not sure if that touched Nabokov or not, but
looked like it hit his feet. He was standing up pretty tall.
Poso taken wide here by Rundblad. 8 minutes to go in the third.
Nabokov's been, excuse me, Howard, Nabokov's been in position a few times where he hasn't seen the puck and it's just hit him.
Coyotes have outshot the Islanders 25.
Oh, number 5? Oh, maybe not.
Wait a minute, what happened to 4? A chance for Nielsen across. Bailey scores. Oh, boy. How do you like that puck movement? 3 gorgeous assists for Nielsen tonight. Bailey gets his first of the year, and it is 6-1 New York, and that's just some skill.
Well, it really is, and its ability to follow up the play. There's the Islanders down low. Get the puck up in a hurry. Little chip shot through the middle. There goes Michael Grabner. He can't quite catch up to it, but he makes a great pass. A little give and go between Bailey and Franz Nielsen. Boy, you talk about hockey sense, good hands, and just ability to stay on side. That's tremendous play by those 2 guys. They jumped up in the play as soon as they saw Grabner with a potential breakaway, Howie, and that really made the play work. And of course, Michael Grabner was able to retrieve that puck and get it out to those 2 guys.
So 6-1 Islanders. 3-point nights now for Bailey, Nielsen, and Grabner. And Nielsen's all assists and all beautiful passes.
He really has had the legs tonight, and you're right. He's that's his forte. He's a terrific playmaker, and you're right, 3 great assists tonight.
By the way, who's your accountant? You were saying a couple of minutes ago, Grabner had 3 breakaways. Then he starts on that one. You say, here's number 5. Can we trust you at the end of the year with these totals?
Probably not. But, well, that was, what do we call that, is 3.5? Well, he had 3 the first night, and he had 1, so he's had 4.5. Here we go with the fighting now. Going to be some frustration with the Phoenix Hockey Club.
Looks like Doan and Colin McDonald right in front of the Phoenix bench. And in the undercard, looks like McDonald has a hold of Moss, along with Vermette and somebody else out of your picture. But it's all going to break up without too much developing.
Stone was with Matt Martin for just a bit, but there's no doubt that Phoenix is a little bit frustrated. You know, they played a decent game. They got blown out a little bit late in the second period.
All Islanders, though, and the crowd appreciates it. Here's tonight's Islanders-centric Tri-Honda game recap. Islanders up 6-1. Your highlights. We don't even have room to get them all in here. Matt Donovan's first NHL goal. Couple for Tavares. Bailey, his first of the year. 1 of 3 points and 3 pretty assists. All primary assists for Franz Nielsen. And the end result of the scraps, the Islanders will be down a man.
There's Shane Doan coming over with Colin McDonald. Looked like a pretty easy check, but McDonald didn't like it all that much. And that started a little bit of the rhubarb.
Olsen and McDonald in the box for the Islanders. Doan for Phoenix with 6:38 remaining in the third period. Franz Nielsen, shorthand stroll here. He could spread it out. Andrew McDonald fires up high on Greiss. And now Nielsen is killing some time. Finally turns the puck over.
Well, there's a 2-hand by Franz Nielsen.
This is getting rough
on
now.
Hansel.
Bottker now on top of Nielsen.
Franz, that's not like Franz, so I'm guessing that Hansel did something, perhaps a spear, butt end, whatever, but Franz really 2-handed.
Bottker and Nielsen, the 2 Danes.
Yeah, I think he's just got to jump on him just to protect his teammate. And I'll show that he cares. But Franz really laid a 2-hander on Hansel. I'm not sure why. Perhaps we'll get a look on the replay as to what the heck happened over there. But I got to believe he got speared. Well, he sure did not like him. Looked like he just tried to push him in the corner a little bit more aggressively than Franz thought was necessary.
Number 51, 2 minutes for slashing. Phoenix, number 89, 2 minutes for roughing.
Those 2 were laughing it up earlier tonight. Nielsen and Bottker. Peter Regan, the 3rd product of Denmark, on the ice in this game.
Yeah, when you're on the ice, the friendships are gone many times, Howie, and you got to do what's right for your own team. But that is way out of character for Franz Nielsen. I've never seen him react like that. I mean, that was a serious 2-hand on Hansel's leg.
Well, the last time the Islanders won a game in this building by 5 or more goals was in that famed brawl night with the Pittsburgh Penguins back in February of 2011, when the Islanders took out months worth of frustrations for various reasons on the Penguins, who were certainly involved in building those frustrations along the way. But the Islanders won that game 9-3. They lead here 6-1 with 6:06 remaining in the third.
Yeah, and I really believe that was a turning point for this young Islander hockey club. They came together. They'd had enough, and they picked their spot, had the lead, and had an opportunity to send a message to not only the Pittsburgh team, but the entire National Hockey League.
Now the message, I'm sure, continuing to get around the league, that these are not the Islanders of 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. This team has largely grown up together, and it's starting to show. Shot from Lundblad, knocked away by Nabokov.
Well, they certainly have gotten a lot more physical, Howie, since we talked about the lack of physicality through the first period in 40 minutes.
Clutterbuck's not going to hurt that either. When he gets back.
Both him and Matt Martin 1-2 in the NHL in hits.
Ekman Larsson with 23 to go on the power play. And now forced back is Rundblad. Pass by Brown went right to Cizikas of the Islanders. Grabner keeps working even with a 5-goal lead, closing seconds of a Phoenix power play. And that's it. Olsen out of the box. And the team's now at full strength off the offside with 4:44 remaining in the third period. Excellent night for the Islanders. They're in Uniondale. Islanders with a 6-1 lead late in the third period here at the Coliseum, and you are watching the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, your destination for endless excitement. Visit foxwoods.com now. And don't forget, coming up after this game, an abbreviated edition of the ANA Islanders postgame, because we've got more hockey to get to. Busy night with the Rangers and the Devils, both out west. The Rangers in San Jose, and coming up right after this one, the Devils in Vancouver. Will take you to their pregame show.
Rangers big win last night in LA. Played very strong. Disappointing first game for them in Phoenix, but bounced back.
And the Devils blowing a 3-goal third period lead last night, coming back to get a tying goal late, a shorthanded goal before losing in the shootout in Edmonton. There's a funny Karen, and it's pushed wide by Korpikoski.
Not sure if Matt Donovan was able to get his stick on that shot by Korpikoski. Boy, you think Navy would know better. Don't go out of the net when that puck's coming around the boards in this building, especially, as you mentioned, Howie, by the Zamboni entrance.
Yep, that's the fun house right down there. Here's a chance in front, but the puck hops over Verbata's stick. Right in that corner where they are now. That's the Zamboni gate, and things have to be somewhat uneven down there because pucks come off at all angles. Centering feed knocked away by Hickey. 3.5 to go in the third. Well, the Islanders about to go 2-0-1 to start the season. The last time they picked up points in or 5 points in their first 3 games of a year, it was in the 01-02 season, which was something of a renaissance year for the New York Islanders. Pekka and Yashin and Osgood and Peter Laviolette, and a whole lot of good things that year. Nabokov stops it right at the post, and good luck to Peter, who, as you know, was dismissed by the Flyers yesterday after losing his first 3 games of the year, and is a good coach, and I would imagine he'll be back before long.
And we got another opportunity, I'm sure. But again, watch this crazy bound. I think Donovan does get his stick on it just a little bit. There's the shot. No, I mean, that's a wide open net and a tough angle, but Korpikoski coming in pretty fast, so really couldn't slow himself down enough to maybe corral that puck into the empty net.
3:04 to go in the third. Lundblad's drive stopped by Nabokov. Naby's been pretty sharp.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he's had a couple of pucks bounce around a little bit that he didn't see. Nice win by Vermette on that face-off that allows the Rundblad to get that good hard shot right off the bat. John Tavares always working on his face-offs. And, you know, when I took draws like that and I won them and the linesman dropped him on whatever you want to call unfairly, I always felt that wasn't my fault. And I'm sure John Tavares is thinking the same thing. You know, drop it correctly.
Still irks you, huh?
Yeah. Well, that's not John out there. That's Peter Regan, but...
Well, they've done a few different things around the face-off circle there since you started playing, but the idea is the same. Visiting guy, get your stick down first. Home team guy, figure out how to cheat.
Well, that's not all wrong.
Sometimes you cheated as a visitor, too. I don't mean you specifically, necessarily. Nelson put it to the side of the net and then was ridden in by Rundblad. Hamonic to McDonald. 2:28 to go in the third. We're going to get a penalty here. So whereas just about 2 full games, or 5 periods anyway, where the referees
63,
let a lot of things go. As things started to get a little more physical and chippy and even at times borderline dirty, right here at the end of this one, Brian Pochmara and Chris Rooney don't want any nonsense.
No, they've been very consistent. They're not going to let you get away with it. I watched Ribeiro. He tapped Peter Regan on the ankle, and it was a good call by the ref. And you're right, they are not going to let this game get out of hand.
Islanders' fifth power play. They're 2 for 4 with 4 shots. What really started to turn this game in the Islanders' favor was that 5-on-3 power play they had in the second period. Hansel with a shot that stopped. I should say in the first period.
Yeah, really, that was the turning point in the game for me, Howard, because Phoenix had pressured the Islanders most of that period. Not a lot of great opportunities, but really controlled the play, controlled the tempo, and the 5-on-3 really changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah, the Islanders scored first a little less than 2 minutes in when Regan scored.
Right.
And most of the remainder of that first period up until the 5-on-3 belonged to the Coyotes.
Absolutely.
The Islanders were really back on their heels.
Yeah, they just couldn't seem to. They seemed to be a little out of sync, a half a step off. And really, Phoenix was up the ice and in the Islanders zone a whole lot, but that play, that 5-on-3, changed the game around.
Minute and a half to go here. Donald bumps with Ekman Larsson. Wisnowski to Hickey. Wisnowski, a hard feed. Let's see, Tavares is on the ice with 2.
He's on the ice looking for the third one, and Coach Capilano is going to give him an opportunity.
49 seconds left on the power play. And it appears to be all that's at stake here, whether they can get Tavares a hat-trick goal. Bouchard. Nice keep by Wisnowski. Final minute, Tavares to the net, but the puck doesn't get there.
And Biz was looking for him, too.
Islanders recover, though. 50 seconds to go in the third. Wisnowski to Hickey. Tavares at the far side, got the shot off, and Greiss stopped it. So they did get the setup right where they wanted it, onto the stick of number 91, and he's still out there. Nelson looking for Tavares. We're going to have a lot of fun in a 6-1 game, huh?
Oh, yeah, you really can. You don't have to worry about back checking too hard. That was a tremendous pass by Thomas Hickey to get it to John Tavares. Tavares was looming on his forehand side. Again, in that spot that's starting to be his favorite spot, just at the bottom of the circle. Look at Hickey's looking for him, and there's the pass. And good save by Thomas Greiss. There's the shot right there. And, boy, he took it right off the arm, I think, how he had him beat. He just hit him with it. Look at John a little bit frustrated. Saying, well, I needed to get that up just a half-inch more, but good quick release. But nice puck movement by the Islanders. Wisnowski over to Thomas Hickey, and they moved down.
They called Doan for delay of game at 19:35, so technically the Islanders are going to finish this on the power play. But we're only down to 14 seconds to go, so the power play immaterial. The crowd, though, more than hospitable, as they are standing in approval of what ultimately became a dominant Islander performance, a 6-1 win. They are off to a 2-0-1 start. All the smiles well earned. And don't forget Nabokov, even though it was a 6-1 game, because particularly in that first period when the Coyotes had about a 10-minute stretch where if they weren't necessarily dominating play, they had certainly taken it away from the Islanders. Nabokov had to come up big a couple of times, and that's when it was still a hockey game. So don't leave out Nabokov when you look back on this 6-1 Islander victory. Tavares with a couple of goals. Bailey, Grabner, Nielsen, 3-point nights. Regan had a couple of points, including his first Islander goal. And an appreciative Islander crowd salute their performance.
Well, when you win 6-1, everybody leaves the ice happy. The goaltender only gives up 1, so you know he's happy. Although he doesn't care about averages, he just cares about win. But you know, defense contributes. They find a way to get a goal, and a lot of different players on the Islanders score goals, so that's a good thing, Howie. So big night for everybody. You're right, it might not have been the A+ game, but they certainly were very good, and they were as good as they needed to.